What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol TTCF for Tattooed Chef. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, the chart is already marked up. However, more importantly, they gave us an earnings announcement after the bell today, so let's flip on the extended hours session and see what's going on with the number. So zooming in, you can certainly see a bit of damage has been done to the chart. We should likely be opening on a gap down for tomorrow's session. Again, anything can happen between now and 9:30, but I would say the odds probably favor, remaining on this gap down. Note that this sort of bounce that happened into the after hours or after the dust sort of settled, it wasn't really that severe. It's not like we traded back into the prior range, then we dipped back out. No, it's fairly, bearish acceptance down here. It doesn't look like too many people stepped into quote unquote buy the dip as of right now. So what we want to know whenever we're dealing with a gap down is, of course, the pre-market low or the overnight low essentially, and the anticipated open. We'll call that here at 1640. So taking a look at the daily time frame chart, let's clean this side up just so it's not as distracting. We'll zoom in a little bit here. What we'll notice if we get those levels back on the chart here is that we're pretty much opening right at a known area of support. This 16 zone, the pre-market low zone at 1610 as of right now, is a historical area. You'll certainly notice that this led to a massive move to the upside inside of the stock, and that's where we're anticipated to be opening. So as of right now, I wouldn't be overly confident in a just, blatant gap and go, just destruction all the way down to 1450. Now note that that is the next psychological number or structural level, to be paying attention to, but I really think scenario number one, the one that we always watch when we're dealing with gaps, is the more likely of the two. What you'll notice is that first, let me point this out, then we'll talk about the framework. So this hammer candle, long lower wick, indicating buyers tried to step up at this area of support. Same thing here, right? We technically broke back down underneath this, tried to step up and, become buyers in here. We'll look at the 30-minute in a second. So overwhelmingly, it looks like people were trying to buy Tattooed Chef before the earnings announcement. The way we would play this essentially is if we open here, fail to take out this critical support at 16, trade long back through the open, that's your long signal to not only fill the gap, but I would argue probably come back up closer to this high volume area around 1775. I'm kind of splitting the difference, if you will, between some of these areas of support. So there's that level. So again, you get a strong shelf of support in here, 2 touches there, some down here, and then more importantly, some, more recent touches here. So overall, that would be the upside target if the gap wants to fill, and then we go a little bit further. And based on the nature of this reaction, I really do think that people may step in as buyers here, given that it already looks like they've tried to do that 2 days in a row. So that's the upside case here for Tattooed Chef. Obviously, we know the downside case, the gap and go, would look like this. So opening here, consolidation in this overnight range, basically break of 16, puts into play that area of support, which we pointed out, closer to 1450. Now, taking a look at the 30-minute intraday time frame to sort of talk about those structural hammers that we put in, again, notice that there was a strong reaction to buy this as the initial drive was lower. So again, a lot of panic at the open, and then it was slowly bought up throughout the rest of the day. Same thing happened on today's session. A lot of panic at the open, and it was slowly bought up into the rest of the day, indicating that people wanted to be long this before the earnings announcement actually came out. Of course, some of them will be disappointed, but others will see this as a buy the dip type opportunity, especially referencing that historical support here, which led to that really solid bounce in the past. So to me, I would sort of favor the gap and trap scenario here. We're open to both situations, but that one would seem to be the more likely in my estimation. That's really going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it or learned anything new today, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.